What's up, guys? I'm not a big fan of long intros in these videos, so we're just going to hop right to it. So on my 2009 Cayenne GTS, I basically went to start it one day, and I started getting a bunch of anomalous errors, as you might be able to see there. Ignition lock faulty. I was getting ABS errors. I was getting chassis code errors. The speedometer was not working. Like, basically everything went sideways very quickly. Everybody on the forums started saying, oh my God, it's a battery, you need to replace the battery. And then I replaced the battery, and they're like, oh, did you register the battery? Is the battery slightly low? Is it slightly high? If you got a different size, maybe that's not gonna work. Ignore all of those guys. This is a relatively common problem for which I haven't actually seen a lot of documentation. So I pulled the seat off of the rail. I pulled this rail up a little bit. There's some fun informational stuff down here, which I'll share with you guys. So you can see this primary bus bar down here. This lug goes right to the positive terminal. So it comes out of here, it goes to this bus bar where these are all of your fusible links to various engine modules. That's a little explosive device, disconnect the battery, should the airbags go off. However, the meat and potatoes here is this relay back here. And what I found, looking at what was actually powering like this primary module, this computer module up under the seat, is I bench tested this relay by feeding voltage to it, saw that it was actually actuating. However, I noticed it wasn't actuating in the car itself. So that's what led me to basically start tracking this all the way back. Now, I was seeing references to some condensation issues and some corrosion issues underneath all of these wires. Now, all of these wires are going to be wrapped in some fun, like, kind of felt tape, which is a little gooey, a little bit of a pain in the ass to get off. However, once I got it all off and I traced the wires back, I noticed that all the rest of them were functioning except for what was this one, which is the ground for the actual trigger for the relay. Upon tracing that back, I found that Porsche, from the factory, basically had this crimped and glued together, much like this other one. Now, this one also corrodes as well. So if you start having issues, definitely address both of these and make sure that they're both healthy. Again, these are just hidden under like that felt tape. So, yeah, I pulled this one off. This one's nice and healthy. I'm gonna wrap it back up. This one, however, you can actually see some of the corrosion. As soon as I pulled that tape off, both ends of the wire were basically as naked as they are, like right now. So that's the issue with these cars. There are references to some of these other wires having issues. I noticed that a few of mine were kind of routed a little bit funny, again, from the factory. That might have caused an issue in another 15 or 20 years. You can also see some of these others are just bonded from the factory. This is basically how they come. So I'm not gonna mess around with too much of these. However, I am gonna replace this one wire. I will solder it together, shrink wrap it, hopefully never have an issue again, wrap this up, seal it properly against moisture, and above all, the moral of the story here is try and keep condensation out from underneath this carpet. It's very easy to happen, and once it gets under there, it'll last for months and months and months. So there you go, guys. Once that was reconnected, I was able to turn the car off, turn the car back on, and everything started working. Hopefully that helps.